In this video I'm going to tie for you the Salmonfly dry fly. To tie this fly I'm going to use a TMCO 2312 size 6 hook. Or similar size hook will work too. Again I'm going to debarb it at the vise. For my thread I'm going to use 140 denier fluorescent fire orange thread or 6/0 thread. I'm going to put the thread on starting at the front, working my way to the back. I'm going to stop roughly to where the barb used to be. For my stonefly dry flies, especially these salmon flies and golden stoneflies, I always include an egg sac, because that's when most of the trout will see them, is when the stonefly females come back to lay their eggs. And the egg sac of stoneflies, or salmon flies specifically, have this sort of the dark charcoal black color. And for that I'm going to use a piece of craft foam that I cut beforehand with a slight taper. I'm going to tie it at the back. I'm going to work this to the front. This extra foam will also make the fly more buoyant. And I'm just going to go work my way to the back, tie it in, and this part here will be the egg sac. A couple more wraps just to make sure it doesn't roll on me when I tie the fly. A couple wraps there, and I don't want to cover up the black completely. And the reason why I don't want to cover up the black completely is because once I put my dubbing on, which will be a salmon flesh color dubbing, the black will come through when the fly gets wet. And that sort of removes some of the bright pink color, but I'll talk more about that later on. Next, for the antenna at the back, I will use some black Uniflex. In, and bend this back, and I will cut these. I can cut them right now. That equal length and size. Then next I will tie in my overbody, which will be a piece of brown foam, and I produce this piece of brown foam with one of these cutters, and I use this to imprint a shape into a craft foam. So place this on top, right above where the egg sac is, and then 3 wraps just to secure it. Pull this over to make sure, a couple wraps in there, maybe 1 or 2 more wraps there to make sure it doesn't roll on you. Okay, just make sure that's the same length. Next I'm going to use some, in this case, shrimp pink dubbing. Okay, this is the color, quite a bright flesh, salmon flesh color pink. And that's why I leave a bit of black on the underbody, because once this fly gets wet, the pink is sort of subdued by the black underbody coming through. Alright. It doesn't have to be super tight wraps, just to cover up. That should be good. Just get the excess off there. Then I will take this brown foam, put it down, and wrap it onto the hook shank, and then loose wraps first to the eye of the hook. When I get to the eye of the hook, lift this up, a couple wraps in there. When I do these wraps onto the hook shank, it really prevents the foam from rolling on the fly. Then I'll come back, secure this. Next I will tie in my wing, and for my wing I'm going to use some grey EP fibers. Put it on there and just let it stick just past the body of the fly. There's a couple loose wraps first just to secure all the fibers. Right. And then I will cut the excess off. Like that. And then I will tie it in, secure it onto the fly. For my legs, I'm again going to use some black Uniflex. I'm going to take a piece and fold it around the thread, slide it up there, like that. Take a second piece, wrap it also around the thread, put it on, and then bring the thread up to have it on the other side. And I'll just pull them so roughly the same length. And this is what you should see. Something like that. And maybe a second wrap, 2 more wraps, just to make sure it's secure. Then for the thorax, I'm going to use more of this shrimp pink dubbing. And then I'm going to pull the 2 front legs back, wrap the dubbing in. And then I'm also going to add some front legs, and I will do the same process as for the back legs. Take a piece of the Uniflex, wrap it around the thread, pull it up like that, pull the same length, and then I'll take a second piece, wrap around the thread, bring the thread up like that to the other side, wrap it around, and then I will just pull the even length, a couple more wraps to secure it. And next thing I will do is I will then take this foam sticking to the front, fold it over like that, at the same time pull the legs back so it's out of the way, and then I will secure the head with a couple of wraps or a few wraps of thread. That. And then I will whip finish the fly. Cut the thread off, pull the leg into place. You will see that the front leg sort of pointing back. That's okay, it just gives extra movement. And then to finish the fly, I'm just going to use a bit of head cement on top there, and then also on where I did the whip finish. And let me cut some of the wayward fibers away. And there you are, the salmon fly.